Hello everyone, welcome back to ICSE Study Buddy. Let's continue with the chapter acid, bases and salt. In the previous lecture, we have already done up till the classification of acids. We have classified the acids on various bases as on the basis of strength, on the basis of concentration, on the basis of basicity. Now we are starting with properties of acids. So let's begin with this. So properties of acids, any property we study of any compound or any substance, we consider two types of properties. The first is the physical property and the second is the chemical property. So the first one is physical property. So let's start with it. So physical property. Now what does this word physical means? You say now that he is physically unfit, he is physically not good. Physically means outer appearance. How does it taste? How does it looks? How does it feels when it is when it comes in contact with your hand or any part of your skin, right? So let's start with it. So first of all, let's discuss about the taste. So we all know from our lower grades itself that acids are sour in taste. Okay, sour means it's not sweet, not bitter. The one which is intermediate, not sweet, not bitter. Okay, so it's sour in taste. Next point, they are highly corrosive. Okay, so mineral acids are highly corrosive. Okay, except the carbonic acids and the organic acids, because organic acids are not very corrosive because we consume acetic acid in the form of vinegar, isn't it? So it's not harmful at all. So you have to write an exception organic. Okay, organic and carbonic acid. Okay, so this is an exception. Let's move on to the next property, next physical property. So the next physical property is that acids change blue litmus to red. Okay, so this is a very important one which is asked in the examination many a times. Okay, so now you all know that acids are what? Acids are corrosive, and anything which is corrosive or dangerous, how do we represent a dangerous thing? We often see the danger signs and the danger symbols which are there in the red color, isn't it? So that's the that's the indication that this thing is dangerous. So whenever you come across any litmus paper, if it turns red, that means if it turns red, and red is a sign of danger, so please understand that it's actually what? It's an acid. Okay, so this is a litmus paper. Litmus paper. Okay, and this one was blue and this one was is red. Okay, when we added what? When we added acid to it. Okay, and this one keyword is there which is marked every time in ICSE, and that is moist. You always have to include the word moist litmus paper. Okay, only moist litmus paper shows this reaction. Let's move on to the next property. Next, other indicators are also there. Indicators are what? That indicates that it is an acid, it's harmful, it's corrosive. Okay, so first of all, litmus paper told you that this is an acid. Okay, next, what will tell you that this is an acid? Next, we have a substance known as phenolphthalein. Okay, what? Phenolphthalein. We have phenolphthalein balls, isn't it? So phenolphthalein balls which are there, they are red in they are pink in color and they turn colorless. Okay, so we have these phenolphthalein balls. Let's make any ball and let's write that they are what? They are phenolph. Okay, phenolphthalein. Okay, phenolphthalein. Okay, there's a slight change in the spelling. Okay, phenolphthalein. This is phenolphthalein, and it is changed into what? It turns colorless when an acid is added to it. Isn't it? It is clear. Let's move on to the next thing. Next, we talk about another indicator, that is methyl. Okay, so methyl, if we have orange methyl, okay, if we have orange methyl, let's make a methyl. So this is what? This is orange methyl. And this orange methyl is changed into what? It's changed into pink. Let's choose the pink color. So it converts orange into pink, means oranges are converted into strawberries. Okay, so this is pink methyl. Okay, so three indicators you have to keep in mind. First is litmus paper, then phenol. Property of acid, and that is acid conducts electricity in aqueous state. We all know that in aqueous state what happens? Dissociation happens. Okay, dissociation happens. Acid dissociates. HCl. We all know that H is having a slight positive charge, and Cl is having slight negative charge. They both develop a charge in aqueous solution. When we make it into an aqueous solution, they make two poles. What are the two poles? One negative and one positive pole. Okay, and thus they conduct electricity across the whole circuit. Okay, so they what they do what they conduct electricity in aqueous state. Conduct electricity in aqueous state. Is it clear? Next, they behave like electrolytes. Okay, so this sentence is the indicates that they behave like electrolytes. No need to write another one. They behave like electrolytes. Okay, I hope that till now every. So now we move on to the chemical properties. So there are various chemical properties. Chemical properties includes that what products are formed when they are reacted with some, some significant reactants like bases or active metals, carbonates, sulfides, bisulfides, metal sulfides, like these. Okay, so let's now deal each one of them. So first of all, let's make a table for this. So if we take any acid, okay, if we take any acid, okay, so I'll make one, two, okay, third, and then these two also. Okay, so let's discuss each one of them. So first of all, if we react any acid with a base, okay, with a base, okay, so what will happen? Let's see. Okay, so we have first of all reacted with it with a base. So let's see what will happen. So when any acid reacts with bases, this reaction is always known as what? This is known as the neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction. Okay, okay, let's now see an example of this. So an example to indicate this is salt. This will give us what? I'll write the product here. Let's make this table as concise as we can. Okay, so this will give us what? This will give us salt plus water. Okay, is it clear? I hope that it's clear. Now let's take an example. If we have NaOH as a base, we all know that it's a base, and we react it with the acid HNO3, that is nitric acid. What we'll get? First of all, we'll get water for sure, because we know that it's a law. We will get water. So write water first of all. Okay. Now H is taken from here. Okay, H is taken from this hydroxide, and this O is taken. Okay. Now which we are left with what? We are left with Na and NO3, isn't it? So write this thing only, NaNO3, okay, NaNO3 plus, okay, that's so simple. Okay, so this is actually a salt. So we are left with a salt and water. I think that it's crystal clear to everybody. So let's make it more visible. So when we react it with bases. I hope that it's clear. Next, we move on to the next substance. Now we'll react it with active metals. Okay, let's react it with active metals. What are active metals? Any metals which is not in a reactive state, like MgCl. MgCl, it's having a metal Mg, that is magnesium, but it's not an active state. It's not an active metal. An active metal will be an isolated metal, means a metal which is isolated, lonely. Okay, so Mg, if you take only and only Mg, it's isolated. It's an active metal. It wants to react with somebody, so it is an active metal. So let's take an example. First of all, let's write the product. What we'll get? We'll get salt again plus hydrogen gas. Okay, now how do we know this? Because in this we are not having oxygen, that's why we'll not get water, we'll only get hydrogen. So we all know that we'll get hydrogen for sure. Okay, so let's take an example of this. So let's take an active metal, that is Mg. Okay, and react it with a acid HCl. Okay, what we'll get? We'll get H2 for sure, we all know that. So let's write H2 in the corner. Now we have already taken H2 from HCl. We are left with what? We are left with Mg and we are left with Cl, isn't it? We are left with Mg and we are left with Cl. So write that thing only. So MgCl, that is magnesium chloride. I hope that this thing is crystal clear to everybody. So this was the reaction when an acid is in contact with an active metal. Now we come to the next substance from which we'll react the acid. Next is we can take carbonates. Okay, carbonates, or we can say bicarbonates. Okay, now what we'll get when we'll react it with carbonates or bicarbonates? Now we know that it is having what? It is having carbon, isn't it? Carbonates, bicarbonate, it's having CO3. CO3 for sure, because that's only carbonates or bicarbonates contains. So we'll get carbon dioxide for sure. Now here we'll get salt. So here we'll get salt, we'll get water also, because in this oxygen is present, H2 will be there because H will be there because an acid is has a compulsion to contain hydrogen. So salt plus water plus we have carbon in this. So carbon dioxide will be released. Okay, and here also write a release sign. Okay, it's very important. So now let's see an example, look at an example of this thing. So let's take a salt. Okay, let's take a carbonate CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, and react with it with an acid, that is HCl, that is hydrogen chloride. What we'll get? We know that we'll get carbon dioxide for sure. So let's write carbon dioxide is released. Then we know that water is there for sure. So water, let's write H2O. Okay, and then we'll get a salt. Salt is always, very tricky thing in examination point of view. If you're not getting, you can use this method. First of all, write carbon dioxide and water, and then write the name of the salt. So let's see which salt we'll get. So we have already taken hydrogen from this. Okay, and we have taken oxygen from this. Now we are only left with chloride, that is Cl, and calcium, that is Ca. So we'll get with salt, we'll get Ca, we are left with an Cl. So CaCl2. Okay, I hope that everybody finds it super easy, super interesting, because now it's in the form of a table. You can just revise it again and again. Okay, I hope that everybody is making notes along the videos. Okay, so let's now look at an example of bicarbonates. Okay, so this was an example of carbonates. Let's look at it as an example of bicarbonate. What is bicarbonate? Bicarbonate is nothing but it's having hydrogen in it. So let's see calcium bicarbonate. Calcium, it's having hydrogen, and rest remains the same. CaHCO3 whole twice. Okay, plus HCl. What we'll get? We'll get the same thing again, because we know that we'll get the same thing again. So let's write the same thing: CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. Is it clear? I hope that it's clear to everybody. Now let me just write CO2. Yeah, it's released. Okay, so now we have done, up till now we have done active metal, carbonates, bicarbonates, and bases. Now let's come to sulfides or bisulfides. Okay, so when an acid will react with sulfite or bisulfite, what we'll get, let's see. So now it's time for sulfides or bisulfides. So write sulfides, okay, or bisulfides. Okay, sulfides and bisulfides. What we'll get, we all know that it's having sulf means sulfur. We are having sulfur for sure. So here sulfur dioxide, like we had carbon dioxide was released, so in the sulfur is there, so we'll get sulfur dioxide. It's very very clear, very very obvious thing. Okay, so what we'll get, we'll get a salt for sure, we'll get water for sure, and here we'll get another very important thing, that is sulfur dioxide. Okay, now let's see how we'll get these things. So let's see the one example. Okay, so let's take a sulfide, that is calcium sulfite, calcium CaSO3, calcium sulfite. See, it's sulfite, not sulfide. Okay, so you have to write SO3 every time. Okay, SO3, not SO2, SO4. SO2 is what? Dioxide. SO3 is what? Sulfate. And SO2 is what? No, no, no. Okay, yeah. So this thing is clear, I hope. And a single S is what? A single S is sulfide. Now, let's look at some examples. So when we'll react calcium sulfide with an acid, let's take the acid as HCl. So what we'll get? So HCl. What are we getting? We'll get SO2 for sure, right? SO2. We'll get water for sure, right? Water. Now we are left with what? We are left with SO2 we have taken, hydrogen we have taken, water also we have got. We are left with calcium and chloride. Yes. So write these things only. We'll get calcium chloride. That's all. CaCl. Will there be any two, or it will be CaCl only? There will be two. Okay, because we all know that calcium is having valency 2 and Cl is having 1. They will cross each other and we'll get CaCl2. Okay, I hope that everybody knows this. This is very basic. Now this is clear. So let me just highlight this thing. Very important reaction. Let's see an example of bisulfites now. Okay, so let's see an example of bisulfite. In bisulfite we can take a sodium bisulfite. Okay, so bisulfite, I've already told you, bi is what? It's having hydrogen, nothing else. Okay, so HSO3, that is, it's having hydrogen, or we can also call it sodium hydrogen sulfite or sodium bisulfite. Both are correct. Let's react with it with HCl. We know that we'll get SO2 for sure, we'll get water for sure, and we'll get a salt for sure. Now which salt we'll get? We have already taken hydrogen in water, we have taken these oxygen in sulfur dioxide and water. Okay, now we are left with what? We are left with Na and Cl. So we'll get NaCl. We all know that NaCl is a salt, that is sodium chloride. So I hope that now everybody is finding chemistry very very interesting and very very easy. So let's just highlight this reaction also. You have to do all the reactions in the same way. If you know the general equation, that is this equation, then you know everything. These are very very necessary. Okay, I hope that everybody is getting everything which is being taught here. Now let's look at another tricky example of this one. Okay, so this was example number 1, this is example number 2. Let's move for example number 3. So 1 2 3. So example number 3, let's take sodium sulfite. Okay, so sodium sulfite will be Na2SO3. Keep this in mind. They will give you the reactants previously only. Let's take an acid H2SO4. Okay, we know that we will get some compounds which are sulfur dioxide and water for sure we'll get. Now salt is uncertain, so let's see what salt we'll get. H2 we have utilized, okay, and what all else we have utilized? We have utilized this SO3. We are left with Na2 and SO4. So we all know that Na2SO4 is the salt, and we can just write this name. So write Na2SO4. Everybody is getting it. I know that everybody is enjoying chemistry now, right? So let me just highlight this point also. You'll be getting all the notes, okay, in the Telegram group. So let's see the last thing from which we'll react these acids. So at last we come to sulfide, okay. At last we come to sulfide. Let's see. So metal sulfide, okay, metal sulfides. Let's see some examples. What we'll get, first of all, we'll get a salt for sure, and here we are not having oxygen because it's just sulfide. Sulfide is what? Just S, not a single oxygen, okay, just S. So how will a water molecule be formed if there is no oxygen? So salt plus hydrogen, hydrogen sulfide. Okay, and what is hydrogen sulfide? H2S. And I know that everybody has rectified a thing, that this thing has a smell. I know that everybody knows this. So it is having a smell of, tell me, smells like, okay, you all don't know this. It smells like rotten egg. Okay, very important. So it smells like rotten egg. Let's see an example of this. So we'll get salt and hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide formula I've told you. How does it smell? That also I've told you. We'll come across this rotten egg smell in practical chemistry. Let's take a metal sulfide. This is a metal Zn, that is zinc is a metal, and its sulfide will be S. So ZnS, it's sulfide, ZnS. Okay, metal sulfide plus an acid HCl. Let's take, what we'll get? We'll get H2S for sure, because we are getting hydrogen sulfide, right? And what else we are left with? We are left with what? See here, we have taken hydrogen, we have taken S, we are left with Zn and Cl. So write ZnCl here, very easy. ZnCl 2, okay, because zinc is having a valency of 2. So that was all for chemical properties. Now we'll move to bases.